Hi guys, how's it going? Caitlin here and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you are excited for this week. If you don't have your prep list, I want you to go to the description of this video. You're going to find links to grab your prep list. It'll have your grocery list, all the recipes, all of the things to put your meal plan together, okay? This week's menu, we're going to have lasagna, pineapple chicken skillet, and ginger carrot soup. If that sounds good, grab all your things. If you got all your things, then let's go. Got 3 varying levels of prep depending on your level of motivation today or maybe how much time you have. So if you just have a little bit, do level 1. If you get a little bit more time, do level 1 and level 3. Actually, no, you'd have to do them all. If you want to get the time to table results that you see in the meal plan, you're gonna want to go all the way with me to level 3. Okay, shall we get going? I'm gonna start with something in level 3 because level 3 is stuff that does itself while we're doing other things, and that is part of the beauty of how we gain time back. Yes, you gain time back by doing this meal prep thing. It's not just for keeping your sanity, it actually helps you gain a lot of time back. So I'm going to start browning my meat for lasagna because I'm going to throw that lasagna together, and then you know what, it's going to be ready just to go in the oven or slow cooker or however you want to do it. I'm just going to wait till it heats up a hot minute there. Here. Oh my god, oil. I'm just gonna let that heat up a little bit. While that is heating up, I'm going to start with some things that are in level 1. We're gonna chop some onions. You can chop with, you know, a knife, do it the good old fashioned way. I am just gonna use a food processor. Got 3 onions to chop. I don't wanna cry that much today, guys. I just do not wanna cry that much today. All right, so lasagna was special request. Special request from hubby. I always ask, is there anything you're wanting this week before I actually start meal planning? Because it takes a little bit of the pressure off. Usually, if it's somebody who's not making the food, they'll be able to come up with some things pretty quick. Like, I want lasagna. Okay, good comfort food. Down for that. Lasagna can always feel like it's pretty labor intensive before you get it done, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And it is one of those delicious meals that's just every now and then it's nice to have. I don't even know if you can buy a pre-made gluten-free lasagna. If you can, I'd be curious to know, but I figure it would probably cost 3 times as much as a regular one and be half the size. So much more satisfying just to make my own. Okay, a couple onions in there. Oh, nicely choppy. So I use an electric twist and chop is what this thing is called, and the nice thing about this food processor and why I will use it to do things like chop onions is the blade goes up and down while you're using it. So instead of having a bunch of over-processed stuff at the bottom and under-processed stuff at the top, it actually processes evenly throughout the whole thing. So it's awesome for making, for chopping onions. Woo! That onion's winning. Chopping onions, making dips. I've never had so many like dips, pico de gallo and raw salsas and stuff like that. I've never had so many in my life since having this. It's a healthy snack, and this makes it really, really easy. It's honestly probably not as hot as I wanted it to be, but whatever, it'll be fine. That might help a little, eh? Just sitting here crying to myself. There we go. It really doesn't get much easier than that, right? You know, I'm just gonna throw away with it now. We do want to have one onion to go in with the lasagna, so I'm just throwing that in with it right now so it can all kind of cook up at the same time. Alright, on to the next one, shall we? I'm going to, let's see, chop up a pepper. So I'm going to do that with my, I'm going to do that with the electric twist and chopper too. Mostly because I want it chopped quite small, because that I have a better success rate of feeding it to my children the smaller I chop it. So I do like to make sure they get their vegetables. They will eat their vegetables, as long as they don't think there's a way that they can get away with not eating them. If they think there's a way that they can get away with not eating them, those sneaky little heathens will just not touch it. But I like doing skillets because it's all mixed together. They see a skillet dinner, it's like they just know the gig's up. It's like, yeah, we have to eat this. Left to their own devices, I swear though, my children would just eat white rice every day. It's really weird. Like, kids seriously like the plainest things on the planet. Like white rice, unseasoned chicken. So exciting. But if you want to be able to eat, you still just gotta keep serving the things. If you're not making this for kids and you're just making your own food, that's awesome too. All right, done with you. I'm gonna grate up some ginger. Get ginger in a few things this week, so. I like satisfaction every time that I put a cover on one of those containers. It's like, another one done. It's just this lovely little like meal prep dopamine hit that just makes it feel so good because you put that lid on and you're like, one last thing to do this week. I was talking about time savings with meal planning, and it's kind of crazy when you sit down and you actually figure out, and ask ChatGPT how much time you save with a meal plan. So how much time you waste approximately with a meal plan, and I'd say this is on the low end of the spectrum, would be 20 hours a month. they say you waste by not having a meal plan. I'd say that's on the low end. And here's why. It's not just deciding every day what to eat and inefficient prep, because you're not prepping for multiple things at once, so you don't have everything prepped in advance, so you're wasting time that day and cleaning all the extra dishes. It's the extra grocery trips that you make because you don't have all the ingredients to make what it is that you want to make. You need to go pick up a protein or a veggie or whatever. It's inefficient grocery shopping once you're actually there doing your grocery shopping, because you're kind of looking around like, oh, well, I'll put this in the cart and, well, maybe I'll eat this, you know? I mean, it's kind of fun to go through the grocery store like that every now and then. However, it is not very efficient. So I'd say 20 hours a month is on the low end of what you waste. But that adds up. It adds up to 240 hours a year. That's almost 5 complete work weeks in a year, to put that in perspective. It's like an extra part-time job that you're working when you're not meal planning yourself. Now, if you make your own meal plan, instead of, you take 14 and a half hours off of that wasted time. So that's just by making your own meal plan, by sitting down, figuring out what you want to eat, and making yourself a grocery list and a prep list, etc. Then you shave 14 and a half hours off of that. Now, if somebody's handing you a meal plan like this, you know, somebody's handing you a meal plan like this, that shaves another 5 hours a month off of it. Which might not sound like much, but that saves you an extra 60 hours in the year, just by having a meal plan, a free meal plan, handed over to you, okay? So, that is a significant, let's see how much I get. Oops, I'm measuring the wrong way. A little bit more. Anyway, that's a significant portion of time spent and a lot of time saved. So if you're here, congratulations. You are doing good things for yourself. You are doing a lot of self-care at the moment. And when you are not doing all the meal planning and stuff like that, you have time to do other things. You have time to things, I don't want to say things that really matter, because what you eat definitely matters. It matters to you, it matters to your family. It's an important thing. Save my ginger for later. Oh, by the way, if you've got envy for this, cup zester. Cup zester is what it's called, and it's a game changer for ginger because you can just go in any direction. I'm madly in love with it. Not madly in love with the way that the ginger is burning my like a little hangnail. Yeah, ginger was definitely burning that, so not in love with that. All right, on to some carrots. So I got 3 pounds of carrots here. I want about 2 pounds. So, what do you got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, so let's go with 12, 8, 1, 3, 4. What's wrong with that one? Because really, can you have too much? And while we're at it, I'm going to peel and chop a whole crap ton of carrots. Shouldn't be a surprise that there's going to be a lot of carrots in a carrot ginger soup. If you want to take a shortcut on the soup, and you want to just buy like some pre-packaged soup, you can do that. All of these things you can take shortcuts on. Look at it if you want, because maybe you don't want to make your own lasagna. Maybe you don't want to make your own soup. But you can use this as inspiration and, you know, make a plan that takes that into account. So instead of buying the ingredients for a carrot ginger soup, you can cross those off the list and you just buy yourself some gluten-free soup. Or buy it from a lovely store down the road or what have you, right? one of the biggest things with meal planning is it's decision fatigue. It's every night having to decide, what am I going to eat for dinner? And I hate to say it, but unfortunately that usually falls on one person in the house. I'm not saying which partner it will fall on, but usually it ends up being one person who decides what's to eat. And if you haven't figured out what you're going to eat, the other people are going to naturally go to you and be like, what are we having for supper? The way to know if you are that person, well, I mean, if you're here doing this with me, you're probably that person. Just how often are you the one who's asking, what are we having for dinner? Versus being the one that figures out what we're having for dinner. But it's an exhausting job. It's a never-ending task. So taking some of the decisions out of the way can be helpful. Go. So if you actually instead of breaking up your meat right away, if you wait and let that ground beef brown for just a little bit before you crumble it up, it's supposed to actually have better flavor and texture. That's what they say. So whether they are correct or not, I'll let you make that judgment call, but I don't mind just leaving it for a little bit while it starts to brown. And maybe it's kind of like a sear to lock in flavor or something. I don't know. I'm not a pro. I just share the pro tips. I actually love that smell of fresh carrot, like fresh any veggies, really. Well, I don't really care if I'm smelling fresh potato while I peel it. Also, you don't have to do the potato. You can do the potato if you want to. It just adds kind of a little bit of extra starch and thickness and creaminess to the soup. So you don't have to add potato, but you can add potato if you want to just add that little bit of, sometimes the starch can make it a little heartier, you know? So I am going to I'm just going to chop these roughly, and then I'm going to store all of them in water. I'm going to dump this. By the way, this prep board, one of the things that I love, it has pockets. So I can put my compost in one, my good stuff in another one, and it makes it so that I feel more organized, and it also makes it so that I make less mess. Otherwise, my mess, I don't know about you, my mess tends to spread. If you're looking around you right now and you get a whole bunch of stuff all around you, stuff, aka stuff that should, either be in a place or be in the garbage, then this prep board might be for you too. It just keeps a dedicated little work surface. So, just gonna put some water in here. And then those are just gonna be ready to drain and dump and go through the slow cooker. Fabulous. I am gonna get some garlic just to throw into the lasagna there. Honestly, I think some of these cloves should count as 2 cloves, but measure garlic with your heart. That doesn't have much time left, which is awesome. Now, if you're still with me, let's go ahead to level 2, guys. We're getting there. All right, so level 2, let's grate us some cheese, shall we? So this is going to be for the lasagna. We get 3 different types of cheese there. If you are on a paleo diet, I do have modifications listed in the meal plan for you there. In which case you wouldn't be, grating all this cheese. So about 2.5 cups mozzarella. You could do a little more if you wanted to. If you know you want more on top, go right ahead. That's what my little one does when she does it. Whenever she topples anything. You know, after it's all done, it's like, yay! Who doesn't enjoy that? Kids. It's funny, if you look around my house right now, like, we eat at the kitchen island, and so all of the chairs are kind of bar stool height-ish. And my little one is climbing all of them, but she's got like enough brains to explore and not enough sense to be scared yet. But every time you turn around, she's just climbing them. And it is just so hard to try to protect her from herself. So, naturally, all of the stools are now just laying down flat on the floor. The house, it looks pretty hilarious. Just if you look around the house, it's like, oh yeah, I can tell what point in life you're at, because grated some Parmesan cheese. You could do shortcut of having already grated cheese and already grated Parmesan cheese. I will say that you get more choice over your ingredients if you grate your own. Less ingredients is always good. Once you buy your cheese already grated, they've got to add something into it to make sure that it doesn't all clump back together again. Sometimes to preserve. So you get more choice if you just do it yourself, and it really doesn't take that long to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna put 1/3 of a cup. You're gonna laugh at me, but I'm not a cheese person. I don't really eat cheese or use a lot of cheese, so I'm kind of cheese dumb on stuff. But my family eats cheese like normal people. I can't eat cheese now. I can't. So I will be making an alternative for myself. But I never even liked cheese. So cheese, losing it wasn't a sad thing for me. It was just kind of a, whatever. There we go. Cheese is done. All right, so speaking of done, that's done too. I'm gonna throw in the other ingredients that are going with it. So, here we go. So I'm going to throw in some tomato sauce, going to throw in some tomato paste. Here we go. Some Italian seasoning. Pampered Chef Italian seasoning. If you haven't tried it, try it. It is honestly like the best Italian seasoning. It makes me feel bad for all the other Italian seasonings that I have tried, because it is just delicious. There we go. Oh, and brown sugar or little maple syrup in there. There we go. So that is all ready, so we'll be able to, you know, throw the things together. I'm gonna combine some seasonings though for the soup first though, just so we're not searching for anything the morning that we're throwing the soup together, because why search for things? Because this is when it starts to feel like we just made our own meal kits. It's like making your home Hello Fresh. Except you get a lot more control over what's going into it. You know exactly what you're putting into your meal. You don't have that risk of cross-contamination. You're not being sent some gluten-y things that you're just, you know, gonna toss after. So there's the seasonings. Be ready just to dump and go. Wonderful. So I'm gonna move this out of the way for just a second, because we're gonna, oh, I gotta combine my cheese. Yeah. Squirrel. Okay, so let me grab a different bowl for this actually. So I'm going to do some of this. I'm going to save the rest of this just to throw over the top of the lasagna. Parmesan cheese. And about half of this packet of ricotta. And you know what, if you're going to all this work of making a lasagna, I guess I should have mentioned this before. If you're going to all the work of making a lasagna, you could just, you know, make 2 lasagnas. You can make one now and you can freeze another, or you can just have 2 and then have leftovers for your week. Because I mean, who doesn't love leftover lasagna? It's just one of those things that's an awesome leftover. So I'm just gonna mix our cheese blend together. So if you're gonna do all the things, make 2. Unless you don't want to, but you could. Or if you're making for 1 or 2 people, make a big one instead of making a small one. This is one of those meals, I know I can never get enough of it. It's just good. Okay, moving this. Bringing this. Just gonna, handle my prep surface a little bit. Perfect world, I'd really love to bring that over here. All right, I think I'm good. Here we go. Okay. So now we're just gonna, assemble this bad boy. So you can make this in a slow cooker as well if you would prefer. If you're gonna make it in a slow cooker, then you can just put it into, your slow cooker stand if you prefer, or assemble a day up, whatever works. I'm just gonna have this made, and then I'm going to just use the oven, good old-fashioned way. And you can use whatever gluten-free noodles you want. I don't have any favorite gluten-free lasagna noodle brand. Just any that I've tried seem to work just fine. Lasagna, it's one of those meals that for some reason, before I go to make it, it always just feels like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do. And then once I make it, I'm like, you know what, that wasn't that bad. I could see myself doing that again someday. But then the next time that my family asks for lasagna, I'll be like, oh, but it's so much work. just throwing this cheese over top of it so it's gonna be nice and melty. If you want to get real fancy, you could throw some parsley on top there, you know, a little more Italian seasoning, make it look all pretty. There we go. So that is ready. That's going to be ready just to go in the oven. Nice and simple. There's one last thing I wanted to do, and that's just cubing chicken. That's it. Just cubing some chicken. You can do 2 breasts, you can do 3 breasts. Do what works for you. So now is actually a great time as well. While you're in the zone, you already got, you know, a complete mess made of your kitchen. Look through your fridge, see what needs to be used, okay? And then think of what you're having this week. Is there any way that you can incorporate what needs to be used into any of your recipes or as a side dish? If so, process that now, get it ready, and make a note to yourself, even on your meal plan, of what you plan on doing with it. Because if you have a plan for it, you're going to use it. If you don't have a plan for it, well, then it just ends up as waste, right? So prepare that now. If you can't think of any way that you're going to use it this week, then still prepare it now. Okay, put it in the freezer if you can put it in the freezer, and then it's ready to go for you another day that you need it. So don't let any peppers or veggies go to waste, because honestly, you can freeze a lot of stuff and just throw it into a smoothie and call it a meal. Just make sure that you are writing on whatever you store it in what it is, when you packaged it, so that you will actually use it. Make a note to yourself of what you have in the freezer, okay? groceries aren't cheap. We don't want to be wasting them and tossing them if we don't have to, right? So, and your time is also precious. So you want to make sure that you're making the most of it. And speaking of time is precious, I want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for prepping with me this week. Because this is it. We are done. We have 3 meals prepped. It's going to be so quick, so easy to throw this all together. I hope that you guys have a good week. I hope that the stress this takes out of your week just trickles down into everything else, because never kid yourself. This, my friend, is self-care. And I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.